Trying to inflate your commission? How about no? 22 years ago, I found a farmhouse that had been sitting on the market for 2 years. Nobody wanted it. The roof needed work, the wiring was from the 70s, and the garden was basically a small forest. But the bones were good. The land was 5 acres, and I was 28 and stubborn enough to take it on. The sellers were an older couple, Graham and Pauline Iverson. Pauline made me tea in a kitchen that smelled like wood smoke the first time I viewed the place, and Graham walked me around the orchard telling me which trees still gave fruit. I liked them. I put in an offer, they accepted, and I hired a surveyor and a solicitor, and started the whole slow grind of buying a house in England. Their estate agent was a guy named Colin Bracewell, mid-40s, always in a blazer a size too tight. For 6 weeks, everything moved fine. Searches came back clean. The survey flagged some damp in the back bedroom, nothing that scared me off. I was booking a van for the move. Then, 48 hours before we were due to exchange contracts, Colin called me on a Tuesday morning while I was still in my dressing gown eating toast. He said a new buyer had come in with a cash offer £30,000 over mine. He said the Iversons liked me, they really did, but he had a duty to get them the best price. Then he said if I could stretch $5,000 above that new offer, he was confident I could still get the house. £35,000, 2 days before exchange, on a house that had sat unsold for 2 years with nobody else showing interest the whole time I'd been dealing with it. My parents weren't wealthy, but they taught me how agents get paid. Colin's commission was a percentage of the final sale price. Every pound he squeezed out of me went into his own pocket. A fake late bid right before exchange is one of the oldest tricks going, and my uncle had been burned the same way buying his flat, so I knew the shape of it the second I heard it. I put my toast down and told Colin, calmly, to advise the Iversons to accept the higher offer. I was withdrawing, effective immediately, no negotiation. He started backpedaling, saying maybe there was room to talk to the other party, maybe I didn't need to go the full $5,000. I told him it was done. I'd already spent about £900 on the survey and searches, and I'd rather eat that loss than be played. He went quiet on the phone in a way that told me everything. I didn't hear another word from him. No follow-up call, no, the other buyer fell through, are you still interested? Nothing. I assumed the house sold to whoever this mystery cash buyer was, and I moved on, found a 2-bedroom terrace in town instead, and mostly forgot about the farmhouse. About 3 months later, I was in the local butcher's on a Saturday morning, queuing for a joint of beef, when I heard someone say my name. It was Pauline. She had a scarf on and a basket over her arm, and she looked genuinely pleased to see me, then immediately concerned. She asked how I was doing, and whether I was fully recovered. I asked recovered from what? She said Colin had told them I'd had to withdraw suddenly because of a serious illness, and that they'd felt terrible about it. Hoped I was doing better. I stood there holding a bag of sausages, working out that this man hadn't just tried to inflate his commission, he'd invented a fake illness to cover for a sale he himself had sabotaged. I told her the truth, right there between the counter and the queue. I told her Colin had called me 2 days before exchange, claiming a buyer had offered $30,000 over, and pushed me for another 5 on top of that, and that I'd walked because it smelled like a commission grab, not a real offer. Pauline's face went through about 4 expressions. She grabbed Graham off a bench outside, and the 3 of us stood on the pavement while she explained no other buyer had ever existed as far as they knew. The house sat empty another 3 months after I pulled out, with Colin telling them buyers kept falling through. Graham asked if I still wanted it. I said yes, more than ever, and that I still had my solicitor's paperwork and my survey results from before, since nothing about the house itself had changed. They pulled the listing off Colin's agency the following week, and we did the rest as a private sale, solicitors only, no agent involved, no commission for anyone. It took another 6 weeks to complete because we did it properly, but I moved into that farmhouse with the damp back bedroom and the overgrown orchard at the exact price I'd offered the first time. Colin found out when the sale went through the land registry with his agency's name nowhere on it. Pauline told me later he rang the house asking what happened, and Graham just told him the sale had been handled privately and hung up. He never got a penny.